I have the differential under the car now, and I'm going to try to move it as far forward as I can to get the brake lines to clear the frame, because the frame is narrower at the front of the car than at the back. So I'll move it to the front as far as I can, and then lift and pull it back at the same time to get it to meet up with the bolts. So here's what it looks like. So you can see down here these lines need to come across here and then move back upwards to here. And then after I've got that more or less in place with these bolts lined up here, I'm going to go ahead and attach these up to the bolts that are sitting here, getting those bushings in place first, and then go ahead and tighten the front bolts and then move the back bolts in. I'm going to have to make sure these bushings are in place when this goes up as well. So that's the plan. I'm hoping it's going to work. What I had to do to actually install the differential is jack it up and block under the drums with bits of 2x4 cut into small blocks, and like a bunch of Legos, I just had to basically just start stacking them up one on top of the other to support it so that it didn't shift the wrong direction. And in addition to that, what I had to do is I had to take a threaded rod and install it where the pins are that hold the front of the differential mount, and use a nut to cinch it up to keep the differential level, because when you're balancing all this stuff, it will fall forward or start to slip back. I couldn't have that, so I basically had the threaded rod lifting and controlling the angle of the differential as I lifted it up into the frame. We went to actually fasten the differential to the frame. What I found is that the only way I could do it was to take the differential and shift it up on one side, over, and then around the flange on the bottom of the frame, then shift it back as far as it would go, and then shift it up on the other side, and then back to center it, and then make sure it was blocked in place and the threaded rod was at the right angle. And then I could actually insert the pins at the back here in order to get the back connected, and then I was able to remove the threaded rod and put the pins in to fasten the front. So if you can see down here, the top bushing is that much taller than the shorter bushing. So what that means is that the shaft, this shaft that goes through, is that much too long. And when I took it off, I'd forgotten that these washers probably needed to go back here to make the shafts the same length. Initially, I thought they were a shim to adjust the toe in for the rear wheels, the alignment, but they're not, because this is part of the frame and it stays in one spot and has nothing to do with the alignment. So additionally, once I put these back in, I decided that the bushings themselves, even though they were still soft and looked to be okay, they're not the same diameter that they were initially, and so I think they're going to be loose in here. So I'm going to order replacement bushings for them, and as I pull them back out, I'll put the shims in at the back and we'll call it good. But I can do that with the differential in place. That's going to be a little easier. What I'll do is I'll do the back ones first. I'll slip this out, support the differential. With this removed, there's plenty of space to get the bushings in there. On the front side, I need to get the the front arms of the differential down probably about 1.5 inches to get the new ones in, which shouldn't be any trouble. Once I slip these out and I've still got the thing in place, I can just rotate it down enough to get those in. That's fairly quick. So I can do that with the differential in place. So now it's time to reassemble this beast back to where I can put it on its wheels and see how it sits.